You ever watch a stupid movie late at night, hoping it's gonna get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night I was watching this movie. I was watching this movie called Fright Night, Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people.
What the hell is he talking about?
Is he serious? Is he for real?
But I'm gonna tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that?
What is he talking
I never
about?
knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf.
Oh my gosh.
He's talking about vampires and werewolves right now.
Y'all serious about this, right?
Yeah, it's serious. Herschel Walker is dead serious. This is what his candidacy is. And credit to the campaign of Raphael Warnock for coming up with a pretty original way to deal with Herschel Walker. Just play his insane quotes, have people respond to them as each and every one of us has in real time the first time we watched it. There's more, take a look.
So I've been telling this little story about this bull out in the field with 6 cows.
Earth.
And 3 of them are pregnant.
There's no substance, there's nothing.
So you know you got something going on.
It makes me want to laugh, and then it makes me think we're in trouble.
But all he cared about is kept his nose against the fence, looking at 3 other cows that didn't belong to him. Now all he had to do is eat grass.
This video is ridiculous. That's 35 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Why would I want someone like that leading the state of Georgia?
Well, in Herschel Walker's defense, he's not gonna be elected to lead this state. He's gonna be elected to do, I guess, whatever Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz tell him to do, because they're always thanking him and pulling. Like it's like in Ratatouille, they have a hand on the back of his head and they're pulling on little bits to make him move and say crazy things. But anyway, the amazing thing for me, Francesca, is you have lots of reasonable people watching that, and we'll have a little bit more for you in just a bit. But then there's people in the audience at his rallies, and they hear that stuff and they think, yeah, no, this dude gets it. He should have political authority over important matters. What do you think?
So in Herschel Walker's defense, here's what I will say. I want to laugh at this. I want my time back. I can't believe we're electing this. Herschel Walker didn't start that movement. Donald Trump started that movement. I mean, it arguably started even before, but Donald Trump is the perfection of Herschel Walker, but he is also a rich white guy, right? Who ostensibly is being told what to do by himself. And obviously at some point Vladimir Putin, but not anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like Herschel Walker is much more of a puppet than Donald Trump, but they speak exactly the same. When I hear Herschel Walker speak, everyone's like, oh, he sounds really dumb. No, he sounds Trumpian. He's going off on a random ass tangent. He might as well be talking about hairspray and how hair dryers don't work anymore. He could be talking about flushing toilets. He could be talking about wind turbines. It doesn't matter. It's so Trumpian. And that stuff works, right? It's a fine line between a bad stand-up set, a hack stand-up set, and a politician, a Republican politician these days. And that's exactly what Herschel is doing. It's the Trump playbook. And so I wanna be very aware that the reason I think a lot of us treat him a little differently is because he isn't a rich white guy, right? He's a black football star who is also, yes, of course, being completely marionetted into this race by the Republican Party, by Lindsey Graham and by Ted Cruz and others. Even though you've got McConnell who's like, I don't know, the quality of our candidates isn't very good. But so I guess I'm like, I of course would never vote for that, and I would never vote for him. I don't understand. I think a lot of people in Georgia wouldn't. But then, man, that's the appeal. Just talk and talk and talk. And may I say, it also kind of sounds Biden-esque, right? What about the whole, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting. What is his name? What's
Corn
the dude
Pop?
he got in a fight? Corn Pop.
Corn Pop is a cool person. Did you know that a werewolf can kill a corn pop? So I didn't want to be a corn pop anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
If I was something where I want to be a corn pop, what's greater than corn pop eats werewolf, werewolf eats vampire?
Yeah, it is kind of a combination of Trump and Biden, weirdly enough.
Yes.
But then, look, I know that a lot of people see these speeches by Herschel Walker and they think, my God, there's barely a brain left there. But I think that this is actually a testament to the durability and strength, not of the human spirit, but of the human skull. Because if I had been hit in the head as many times as Herschel Walker, I probably wouldn't have summarized the movie even as well as he did. So I don't know, there's a measure of personal strength there. Anyway, there is actually more to that ad, and it's just awesome. So let's run the last bit of that.
Good air decided to float over to China, bad air.
Unbelievable.
So when China gets all good air, their bad air gotta move.
It's all the same air.
Not only does it make no sense, I don't even understand what he thinks he's saying.
So it moves over to our good air spaces. And now we gotta clean that back up.
I sit and watch these on Twitter and I'm like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Like literally, what is he talking about?
He's completely unqualified for this really, really serious job.
No one's watching this and being like, oh man, that guy's got it together.
And sometimes like I read through the comments because I'm like, is anybody actually understanding, or are we just sitting here wasting time?
It is embarrassing. Let's call it what it is. It is embarrassing.
They just care about getting a yes man, somebody that'll just punch the button.
I think it's a risk to me and millions of Georgians to put this man in a position of power.
Let's call it what it is. This is embarrassing as hell.
At all. I mean, well, you know.
It's embarrassing as hell. And I'm glad, by the way, that they added in this stuff about the good air, because I think it's important to make sure that people know that he is out of his mind. He has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea what he thinks. He has no real plan. But there's almost maybe like a danger there to making the narrative of Herschel Walker out that he's a buffoon, because while he is a buffoon, like when he talks about the bad air, it reminds you, oh, he's not just talking about like vampires. He's going to be voting yay or nay on climate change legislation. Yep. Like he isn't just a buffoon in his folksy stories. He believes in saying things about policy. And even then, there's also he's held guns to multiple people's head side of him. Like at a certain point, the buffoon thing might be like a nice suit of armor against. No, this guy has wanted to murder people at multiple times in his life. He's a dangerous person who's abused family members. Like, yes, he's a buffoon and he talks about insane things, bulls hopping over fences. He also beats his domestic partners and has threatened to murder them, threatened to kill himself to get people to have abortions. Like, in a way, the buffoonery is better than the actual horror of who he is.
Sure, and that doesn't play in the Republican base anymore, right? They don't care. It doesn't matter. You can have as many allegations against you. You can be like accused of a bunch of stuff. They love it. They love criming, especially against your own family. That's excellent. Hell yeah, Trump, grab him by the, like, let's do it. So, but I think that more than that, I think when Warnock really shone, and I wasn't on air when actually the debate happened, but I think when he really shone against Walker was pointing out that Walker will just enact a corporatist agenda of the GOP, that he is just a puppet for the GOP, that he doesn't actually have policy positions. He does believe in handing more and more money from the wealthy, from the poor already, from the poor to the wealthy, right? This upward funneling, right? And like exploiting the working class even more. I think that's what he has to hammer on. And I think that's where he's gonna shine. And also the fact that he's a straight up liar. See, I think there's one thing to say, okay, so did you or didn't you do, like pay for an abortion? But then the lying about it, right? That I think is where you can also get people, maybe the base that's already going to vote for him. Last thing I'll say is, I watched that ad. I think it's a strategic ad. I think it's a good ad. And then you imagine all of the like, honestly, rich white Georgians who are like, no, I like him. I like him because, he loves Trump and he's Trumpian to me. He's gonna do exactly what Trump will do. And he's gonna give me more tax breaks, me and my companies more tax breaks. Yeah. And he'll basically just go along with the Republican Party. And that's what we need, yay.
Well, there's evidence that that's actually the case. If we jump ahead to graphic 5. In the most recent poll, Raphael Warnock has a lead in the runoff by 4 points. It's mainly made up by the fact that he has a 24-point margin in younger voters. And by younger, I mean 18 to 49. He's got a huge lead there. Herschel Walker is ahead by 9 points among voters 50 and older.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that there are some older voters who want to support him. They like actively support him more than Raphael Warnock. That is absolute madness. And there was a couple different explanations for why they could come to that conclusion. None of them are good. None of them say anything good about that individual, the base itself, or about the state of the Republican Party. It's all really bad.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.